Diana Bahati just broke down in tears, and what happened next has everyone talking. If you think you know everything about the Bahati family drama, think again, because what just unfolded will completely change how you see this entire situation. For months now, the Bahati household has been the center of controversy after another. Every time you turned around, there was another scandal, another public outcry, another reason for fans to question what was really happening behind closed doors. The constant stream of drama wasn't just affecting Bahati's career or his public image anymore. It was tearing at the very foundation of his family, and Diana was bearing the brunt of it all. Picture this: you are married to someone whose every move seems to generate negative headlines. Your children are asking questions you do not know how to answer, and your friends and family are constantly defending you in conversations you never wanted to be part of. The pressure builds day by day, week after week, until you reach a breaking point where you're not sure if love is enough to weather the storm. That is exactly where Diana Bahati found herself. The woman who had been stood by Bahati through thick and thin, who had defended him publicly countless times, was finally showing cracks in her armor. The constant barrage of criticism wasn't just directed at her husband anymore. People were questioning her judgment, her choices, and her role in enabling behavior that kept spiraling out of control. But here is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Instead of another public meltdown or social media rant, Bahati did something that caught everyone off guard. He recognized that his actions were not just affecting his own reputation, they were destroying the peace and happiness of the woman he claimed to love more than anything in the world. The planning started weeks ago, though Diana had no idea. While she was dealing with the fallout from his latest controversy, and while she was fielding calls from concerned family members and trying to shield their children from the negative comments online, Bahati was quietly orchestrating something entirely different. He was planning what might be the most important gesture of their entire relationship. Now, you might be thinking, this is just another publicity stunt, another calculated move to generate positive headlines and a distraction from the ongoing drama. And honestly, given the pattern of behavior we have been seeing, that skepticism is completely understandable. But sometimes, when you're pushed to the edge of losing everything that truly matters, people find clarity they never had before. The surprise vacation wasn't just about expensive hotels or exotic destinations. It was about creating a space where Diana could breathe again, where she could remember who she was before the controversies, before the public scrutiny, before every day became about damage control and crisis management. It was about showing her that despite everything that had happened, she was still his priority. When Diana realized what was happening, when she understood that this wasn't just a random gesture, but a carefully planned attempt to heal the wounds that months of chaos have created, the emotions she had been holding back for so long finally broke through. The tears were not just about gratitude for vacation, they're about recognition, about feeling seen and valued after months of feeling like collateral damage in someone else's poor decisions. But here is what makes this moment even more significant. This wasn't happening in a vacuum. Just recently, Bahati had issued what many considered to be a tone-deaf apology that seemed to miss the mark entirely. Critics tore it apart, saying it felt scripted, insincere, and more focused on protecting his image than actually acknowledging the harm this action had caused. The backlash was swift and brutal, with many people saying that they had had these empty promises before. So, when news of this surprise vacation broke, the initial reaction from many was cynical. Here we go again, people thought. Another grand gesture designed to distract from the real accountability. Another expensive band-aid on a wound that needed actual healing, not just cosmetic treatment. But watching Diana's reaction told a different story. Her tears were not performed for cameras or social media engagement. They were raw, genuine, and spoke to something deeper than the public relations. They were the tears of someone who had been crying an enormous emotional burden and suddenly felt like maybe just maybe, that the burden might be shared. The timing coinciding with preparations for Diana's birthday added another layer of meaning to the gesture. Birthdays are supposed to be about celebration, about feeling special and loved, but recent birthdays in the Bahati household has been overshadowed by whatever drama was dominating deadlines at that time. This felt like an attempt to reclaim that joy back, to create new memories that were not tainted by public controversy. What is particularly interesting is how this plays into the larger pattern of celebrity relationships under public scrutiny. When every aspect of your life is dissected online, when your personal struggles become entertainment for strangers, the pressure can be overwhelming. Many couples in similar situations have crammed under that weight, unable to separate their private relationships from their public persona. Diana had been in the spotlight for years, but the intensity has escalated recently. She has watched her husband make decisions that she couldn't defend, seen him engage in behavior that contradicted the values they claimed to share as a family. The question now everyone was asking was how long she would continue to stand by him, and more importantly, whether she should. Vacation represents more than just time. Away from Kenya's gossip blogs and social media drama, it's an opportunity for honest conversations. Away from public pressure, a chance to address the real issues without worrying about who might be listening or how their words might be twisted in tomorrow's headlines. Bahati's promise to do better and make things right isn't new. He has made similar declarations before, usually in the immediate aftermath of whatever controversy he was trying to weather. But actions speak louder than words, and this gesture, expensive, elaborate as it might be, is still just a gesture. The real test will be what happens when they return home, when the vacation photos are posted and their initial goodwill fades. The cynics have a point when they question whether this is sustainable change or just another cycle in pattern that has become all too familiar. Grand gestures are easier than consistent behavioral change. Expensive vacations are simpler than the hard work of rebuilding trust and repairing damage that goes deeper than public perception. Yet, Diana's emotional response suggests that for her, at least in the moment, the gesture felt meaningful. Perhaps it wasn't just about the destination of the cost, but about feeling prioritized after months of feeling like she came second to whatever drama was demanding attention that week. The broader Bahati family has been affected by all of these as well. Their children, their extended family, and their close friends have all had to navigate the complicated dynamics of loving someone whose public behavior often contradicts their private character. This vacation might offer them hope that change is possible, or it might represent another disappointment. And if the pattern continues unchanged, what happens next will determine whether this moment becomes a turning point or just another chapter in an ongoing saga that seems to have no resolution. Diana's tears were real. Her emotions were genuine, but emotions fade and real life resumes. The true measure of this gesture won't be in the immediate reaction, but in whether it translates to lasting change in how the Bahati family operates both publicly and privately. For now, Diana has a vacation to enjoy, a birthday to celebrate, and maybe, just maybe, a reason to believe that the man she married is still capable of growth and change. Whether that belief is justified remains to be seen, but sometimes hope is enough to keep moving forward.